Hi, and welcome to this recording for the Impact Idaho Fund presentation. I'm Lexi Pregastis, and I'm the Executive Director for the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience, and will be your MC of sorts for this session. I am so honored to be working for this organization, a place where I truly feel like purpose and passion intersect. We work to build community resilience, something that is multifaceted and complex, yet also intuitive. To me, resilience looks like a community that celebrates its local environment, honors its many members, and has a robust, dynamic economy. There are many elements to resilience and many ways to build it. Food systems are a powerful lever for change and is currently our programmatic focus. Our agricultural food system has one of the largest food footprints, using vast quantities of energy, water, and dramatically shaping our relationship with our land. More importantly, though, food systems are inherently inclusive. The saying goes, if you eat, then you're in. And lastly, food system builds bridges, something many of us are yearning for as a result of this year. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Brooke Pierce and Amy Mateus, who will introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into why we're all here, to learn about an innovative way to transform our regional food system.
Perfect. Thank you, Lexi. Hi, everyone. I'm Brooke Pierce. I'm the Investment Director for the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience. My career to date has been in financial services. I spent 6 years in Ernst & Young's management consulting practice, working with clients in banking and capital markets. I then went back to school to get my MBA, focusing on impact investing, social entrepreneurship, and environmental sustainability. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I've had the incredible honor of working with several companies in the space, including the Conservation Fund, Calvert Impact Capital, Self-Help Credit Union, and now the Institute. I am so excited about the work that we have been doing, and I am thrilled for the opportunity to share it with you all today.
Thanks, Brooke. And hello, I'm Amy Mateus, and I'm so grateful to be connecting with you today. I'm the Program Director of the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience in the Local Food Alliance. I've been working here in the regional food system since 2014, and I've worked for various food and farm operations, including Nourish Me, Craze Market and Garden, Idaho's Bounty, and Lava Lake Lamb. I'm also on the board of the Idaho Center for Sustainable Agriculture, Fair Idaho, and the Upper Bigwood River Grange. After years of working in our regional food shed, I've had the opportunity to connect with ranchers and farmers of all sizes and production models, small business owners, chefs, restaurateurs, and hundreds of consumers really striving to eat nourishing food, grow their local economies, and ensure their food dollars are supporting good agricultural practices.
We are so humbled by these two's talent and intellect, and together we create a best-in-class team that can bring this program to fruition for our food system and its many stakeholders. What we plan on accomplishing today in the next 15 minutes or so is, first, Amy is going to tell you a bit more about our food system and why it is ripe for transformation. Second, Brooke is going to tell you how the Impact Idaho Fund is structured to do just that, bring capital to catalyze that transformation. And third, I'll let you know how you can join us. There is a lot of background information that has gone into this, and the goal for today is to provide you with a high-level overview. And if you would like to ask any questions, please feel free to follow up with us after via email. Before we begin, I want to ask you a few questions to think about while before we jump into the food system. The first is, think about whether you prefer or seek out local food in your grocery store. And then, how often does local food show up on your plate, including the food that you've grown? Does it show up on your plates daily, weekly, monthly, or rarely? Many of the people that we share this presentation tend to seek out local food, but we don't have the infrastructure in our national or regional food system to support consistent local food showing up on our plates. Moreover, in Blaine County, we export more than 90% of what is grown. With all of that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to Amy to provide a bit more color on our regional food system and our vision for the future.
Thanks, Lexi. Our existing global food system is wrought with concerns, from degenerating natural resources by chemical use and tillage to overfed yet undernourished populations leading to a multitude of chronic health issues. Farmers in the U.S. are aging out. 70% of farms will be transitioning out of current ownership over the next 20 years, and that farmland is facing development pressure. While these are national trends, we're experiencing it here in Idaho as well. We have lost over 100,000 acres of farmland since 2015. Losing this valuable acreage has profound impacts on our ability to feed our residents, as on average, 1 acre feeds 1 person. Idaho is also the third largest user of fresh water in the country, consuming over 15 billion gallons of water per day for agricultural purpose alone. This is an unfathomable number and gives us perspective as to the resource burden of our current food system. Idaho is a rich agricultural state, yet over 90% of the food that we produce is exported, and we import the majority of food that ends up on our plates. Agriculture has continued to be part of our regional economy, but the reliance upon volatile commodity markets and a lack of regional infrastructure has really discouraged the transition to a regionalized food system. On the other hand, demand for locally grown organic food is increasing. Agriculturalists in our state have an opportunity to meet growing market demands and ensure farmland preservation for generations to come. We at the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience envision a different food system. A regional food system where natural resources like our fresh mountain water and our rich topsoil are valued and stewarded. A regional food system that puts nutrient-dense, real food on the plates of every community member and visitor, and a system that uplifts thousands of agricultural workers by providing safe work environments, fair wages, and opportunities for ownership. Over the past year, we crafted a vision for Southern Idaho that really showcases the power of regenerative agriculture and regionalized food systems. We were selected as semifinalists out of 1,300 submissions from all across the globe. Now we're taking the next steps to bring our vision into fruition by launching the Impact Idaho Fund. I'll pass it over to Brooke so we can get into all the details.
Thank you, Amy. The purpose of the fund is to attract and mobilize mission-driven capital for innovative projects. These projects will advance community resilience in central and southern Idaho. When we talk about investing in community resilience, we mean investing in the build-out of sustainable, renewable, and regenerative practices related to food and agriculture, land, water, and energy use. For the pilot round, we have selected 3 incredibly dynamic projects that employ resilient agricultural practices to address critical gaps in the regional food system. By funding these diversified farm operations, we can create redundancies that strengthen the supply chain, creating more reliable, more affordable access to locally grown, nutrient-dense food. And by launching this pilot fund, we can demonstrate successful business and investment models that will allow us to transition to a debt fund in the future, activating even more capital for community resilience. As I mentioned, we have 3 projects lined up. The first is Itty Bitty Farms, a farm and greenhouse operation with an on-farm retail store. Through the Impact Idaho Fund, we will administer a recoverable grant of $10,000 that Itty Bitty will use to expand their space by 800 square feet, to extend their growing season by 1 to 2 months on either end, and to increase their annual yield by 10,000 pounds. Itty Bitty will also use the grant to improve their on-farm retail store in Cary, expanding access to affordable produce, meat, and dairy. This project scales up local food production in a food-scarce community, one that has historically had limited to no access to healthy, fresh food. The second project is Lookout Farm, a vegetable farm and CA in Bellevue. They have 14 acres. 2 of which they have transitioned from alfalfa and grass hay production to vegetable production. Through the fund, we'll administer a recoverable grant of $35,000 that Lookout will use to transition an additional 2 acres, from animal feed to the seasonal vegetables on our plates. This transition not only scales up local food production, it also uses 90% less water. This project can also be used as a model for future land use transitions by other local farmers in the region. Our third project is Harmony Hens, a certified organic egg layer operation in Twin Falls. Harmony Hens is planning to expand into pasture-raised meat birds and build an on-farm processing facility. Through the fund, we'll administer a recoverable grant of $250,000 that Harmony Hens will use to build a USDA-inspected poultry processor and to expand pastured poultry production to meet market demands. This project fills a critical gap in the regional food system, since the closest poultry processor is currently in Oregon. With a new facility in Twin Falls, the Valley will have a more reliable supply of higher quality meat, all with a much smaller environmental footprint. Now that I've described the pilot projects, I want to take a moment to walk you through the fund model. Right now, we're working with the advocates, the donors, and the beneficial investors on the left-hand side of the diagram, raising charitable donations and recoverable grants. We'll then channel those funds to the projects on the right-hand side of the diagram. The grantees will implement their projects and return their grants according to individualized, flexible repayment schedules over the next 5 years. We will monitor those projects and collect semi-annual impact and financial reports through the entirety of their repayment process. The grants returned by the grantees will either be repaid to beneficial investors or recycled into the fund and redeployed to similar impact-forward projects in the future.
Our portfolio approach for the pilot and the fund in general underscores our interest in finding diverse projects that impact and transform our food system by addressing critical gaps and testing a new vehicle to bring capital to our community. And we are proud and honored to share this opportunity with you. So you've learned about us. We have an incredible team doing the work that is necessary to launch this fund. We have a deep knowledge in our regional food system and strong relationships with its many stakeholders. We have expertise in leveraging capital to drive impact and the capacity to spend time with our farmers and grantees to develop a deep understanding of their business, their practices, and their aspirations. So now I'm going to ask you, do you want to be part of this transformation? Assuming you like tax write-offs, we have an opportunity for you and the people in your network. We are seeking $300,000 by the end of this year to launch the pilot. We have the opportunity to transform our regional food system, and we invite you to join us. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Feel free to email any one of us below. Thank you for your time.